Hey, what's up, guys? This is Name is Government, and yes, we're going to do a video. Basically, this is kind of important, but a lot of people are confused why Donald Trump is doing this, and we're going to explain why. First, let's read the article. Donald Trump to end lashes CIA support for modern anti-Assad forces in Syria. The White House and the CIA has reported decided to end a covert operation to arm the so-called modern rebels. The U.S. has allegedly pumped some $1 billion into training equate efforts with questionable outcomes. On Wednesday, U.S. officials told the Washington Post and workers that Trump has decided to put an end to the covert CIA plan, which began arming and training the so-called modern rebels in 2013. President Barack Obama give weapons and supplies and trading initiative has served as the backbone of Washington's strategy to topple the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad or Bashar al-Assad. The U.S., who spoke conditionally with Rutgers, said the CIA scheme has produced little results. Aha! I'm going to explain why I did say that. So the Washington Post, meanwhile, claimed that based on the source that Trump reported some arming the rebels into the American president way of finding common grounds with Russia and Syria. Of course, it had been tremendous waste of money to train rebels who, immediately turned weapons and overjoin the al-Nusra Front or Al-Qaeda. Rick Sterling says the money in the training that CIA provide has permanently helped Al-Qaeda. Yeah, that's true, and Trump was the step by but added is likely to come under attack and decision to make a sabotage. How much minutes have? All right, so basically Donald Trump says that he's gonna end this training of modern rebels in Syria. So there's a lot of reasons why he did this. Now, it's not because of Assad, for Assad. Now, of course, Alex Jones did a video today, and I'm going to debunk it. The reason why they're doing this because they want the Kurds to divide both Syria and Iraq. If the Kurds divide both Syria and Iraq, that means that the Syrian government is under check by the Kyrgyzstans, and of course the Iraqi government is under the Kyrgyzstans. The reason why they did this because they had to divide the country. You had to have the Kurds on one side, you had the Sunnis and the Alkalites and the Shiites. The Kurds are going to, have some of the oil fields up here. So this is basically keeping Bashar al-Assad in check. And they have to do this. United States is not going to betray the Kurds again. They did in the early 90s when Saddam Hussein started attacking them. Turkey is attacking the Kurds for a reason because Turkey does not want the Kurds to have their own state. But the United States have to fund the Kurds, the Syrian Defense Army, to divide the Iraq and of course Syria. And this is going to have a big conflict in future reference. So let's say Bashar al-Assad and the Syrian army, basically cover all of this here and win the war between the rebels and of course ISIS. They're probably going to have a war with the Syrian Defense Army in the future. And because the United States is going to back up the Syrian Defense Army, they will probably attack Assad and, and the Syrian government. The reason why this, FCA, al-Nusra Front, all of these jihadists, because this waste of money because they're losing. Thanks for Russia, Iran, and the Syrian army, they're actually crushing ISIS and Al-Qaeda. So the United States said, you know what, we're going to help the Kurds, and that's what they did. And this is just a divide and conquer situation of the Kurds. It want proof? I'm going to show you proof. And also, Donald Trump So right here is that according to workers.com, this says that Syria and the Kurds and U.S. divide and conquer. That's true. So basically, they want a Kyrgyzstan country. If you look at Wikipedia, this is what they want. The problem is that Assad and, of course, Iran and all of these guys, they don't want this. But the United States have to do this to divide the Kurds into Syria. This is proof that the United States is splitting up Syria. They are. And right here, peace plans through with the war details that U.S. and its allies' latest plan for partition of Syria. The most recent data this year is protect the large, swaths of Kurdish administrated territories, expanding about the halfway of Raqqa in the southern and among to the Majidi in the west, as well as conquering encompass Al-Z in northern western Syria. As point that Washington seems to claim a separate Kurdish state base of northern, Syria to fit the goal of dividing Syria, which was a state that under siege and carried attempt to create a Kurdish zone under U.S. guidelines and distract whatever, Syrian sovereignty and divides against imperialism. This is true. They want to basically divide Syria and Iraq. This is probably going to have another civil war in the future. But that's why Assad, see? So this is what they want. They want, okay, Al-Qaeda and Al-Nusra is basically defeated. They're desperate. All right, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan, all of them are butthurts. So the plan B is, okay, you guys defeating all of these guys in ISIS with Russia help, so we're going to divide Iraq and, of course, Syria to arm the Kurds and let the Kurds divide the whole nation. So let's say the Kurds are going to control all of this land and want to control all of this here. The Syrian army is going to control all of this here. That's basically what's the plan. That means basically divided the whole country. And Kurds are going to have their own state called Kyrgyzstan. That's basically what it is. So the United States, once again, and Donald Trump is once again playing the Zionist role to divide, Syria up. Because they're butthurt, they don't know what to do. Because think about it, if the Kurds really fighting ISIS, why they don't go on there and help this Syrian army and fight with the Syrian army and capture most of the state here? They don't care. They want to divide the whole state, and they did. They won. So if they got Raqqa, right now they're fighting in Raqqa right here. If they get Raqqa right now and get them out, because basically that's what they're doing, this is going to have a big blow against Assad. So basically it's a lose-win situation of that. So the end of the day is, Donald Trump is playing the Zionist role again to divide and conquer other countries and have a civil war in the future. If Assad army decides to attack the Kurds, right now they didn't, they never really did yet. In the future, the United States have a good reason to go and put boots on the ground and fight against the Syrian army and trying to topple the so-called dictator, Bashar al-Assad. And that's basically the plan all along. So that means that, hey, it's a lose situation. The Kurds, in my opinion, are a bunch of terrorists, and they are. The YPG and all of them are just a bunch of terrorists. But at the end of the day, it's just a lose-win situation. So Donald Trump, you're a liar. You're not helping the Syrian people. All right, guys, this is Nimbus Government. Subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day and peace out.